And actually, Peggy through Monday had asked me to put her on Zoom, but I haven't seen her come in.
All right, we've got the 9 o'clock hour, so we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. We'll begin with the roll call.
Mr. Featherling?
Here.
Mr. Miller?
Here.
Mr. Long?
Present.
Ms. Weber? Mr. Dunniel?
Present.
Mr. Smith?
Present.
Ms. Foster? Ms. Andrade? Ms. Armour Earps?
Present.
Mr. Kirkstra?
Present.
Ms. Monday? Ms. Amber Turner? Mr. Lowy?
Present.
Ms. Denise Turner?
Present.
Mr. Alexander Hildebrand? We do have a quorum.
Great, thank you. Thank you all for coming today. Before we get too far, we need to approve John Featherling's online participation. Mr. Lowy, Ms. Turner from Moments. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Okay, great. You're approved, John. All right, we've got 2 sets of meeting minutes to approve. One set from last month and one set that must have been missed previously. So we've got the February 18th, 2025 minutes and the March 20th, 2024 meeting minutes. Is there a motion to combine and approve? Mr. Lowy, Ms. Armour Earps with a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Okay, great. We will move into the building report, February 2025.
All right. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, good catch. Is there any public comment? Okay. Great. We will move into the building report then. Thank you.
All right. In your packet is the February 2025 report from the Planning Department's Building Division. In February, we had 3 new homes. We issued a total of 38 permits at $1.5 million worth of value and collected revenue of $14,866.
All right. We'll entertain a motion to approve. Mr. Dunnell and Ms. Armour Earps. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Great. Thank you. Next is the Stormwater MS4 program discussion.
As we do every month to keep our NPDES permit active, we need public participation for the Stormwater MS4 program, and one of the ways we get this is to ask this committee if they have any issues that they are aware of with stormwater in their districts.
No discussion on that. All right. We'll move into item number 5 on our meeting agenda, zoning. The first one we have is ZBA case number 24-14. We'll turn it back over to Dell. Yes.
Okay, this is a request to rezone the property outlined in red on the screen there from A1 agriculture to I1 light industrial. It's a 11.24 acre parcel. The purpose of the rezoning is to construct a mini storage facility on that location. It is part of the former Mantino golf course that is no longer a golf course. It's been divided up and plowed back into agriculture for the most part. It's adjacent to the Illinois Diverse Tech campus, which is already zoned I2. And the owner who owns this also owns the mini storage that you can see up there to the left. If you can go to the next slide. There's the layout of the mini storage facility. There's a large wet bottom detention area, and the rest of it would be mini storage facility buildings. They did indicate that they may not build them all out at once and do it in stages. There'll be one entrance at the east end and one entrance at the west end. The Zoning Board of Appeals recommends the approval of this rezoning 6-0.
Do we have a motion to approve? Mr. Dunnell, Ms. Turner for moments. Any discussion?
Me?
Hold on, we will go with Ms. Earps first. Go ahead.
I'm sure there were letters sent out to all the residents across the street and
Yeah.
getting their approval.
All notices were done, yes.
No one complained or anything like that.
There were no objectors, and actually nobody showed up for the hearing.
Okay.
So.
All right, thank you.
That's my question, so.
Okay, great. We've handled that one then too. Thank you. All right, we've got a motion to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Great, thank you. We'll move into the second one. ZBA case number 25-1.
Okay, next one. All right. This is a request for rezoning from A1 agriculture and rural estate to rural estate. Back in 1999, the front 2 acres of this property was zoned rural estate. Since that time, they've added acreage to it and the property has sold, so it's now a 5 acre parcel, and it's got dual zoning on it. The new owners would like it to be all rural estate, so that is the case before you. Also, they're asking for a variance for setbacks on the horse barn. That little pole barn to the lower right there that you can see is currently just a pole barn. They'd like to use it to store their horses in. Our ordinance says that the barn for the horses needs to be a minimum of 50 feet from the property line. This will actually be 20 feet from the property line, so they're asking for a variance of 30 feet there as well. Zoning Board of Appeals also recommends approval on this one, 6-0.
Got it. I'll entertain a motion to approve. All right, Mr. Smith and Mr. Dunnell. Any discussion on ZBA case 25-1? Ms. Armour Earps?
Is there a reason why they want to do? I'm just curious because as a homeowner, you're better off staying the way you are, the tax reason wise. I'm just curious, is there a reason because of the horses, or they're going all RE because A1 is cheaper than RE? So I want to make sure they're aware of that.
Actually, zoning has no effect on your tax bill whatsoever, so that's not true. It's how you get taxed on how you use the property, not how it's zoned. Zoning just tells you how you can use the property.
Okay.
Good question. Anything else? If not, all those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed say nay. Great, thank you. All right, we'll move into the third case here, ZBA case 25-2.
This is a request for rezoning from I1 light industrial to RE rural estate. Back in 1985, this 2 acre parcel was rezoned to I1 light industrial, even though it contained a home at the time, to allow that pole barn to the northwest corner there to be utilized for the manufacture of custom-made furniture. They rezoned the entire parcel, which made the home a legal non-conforming use the day they did that, which was only eligible for maintenance permits. The house is now up for sale, and the business has been gone for a very long time. It has not been used for that. So the owners, so that they can sell it as residential property, would like to rezone it to rural estate. And the zoning board has concurred with that, also 6-0.
Got it. Looking for a motion to approve. Ms. Weber, Mr. Lau is second. Discussion, questions? Seeing none, we'll take a vote. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed say nay. All right, great. We've got our fourth and final ZBA case, 25-3.
Yeah, this is another request for rezoning to rural estate. The property is currently zoned A1 agriculture. It's 9.19 acres in size, kind of oddly shaped. The new owner would like to build a home back towards the wider area in back of it. Unfortunately, there are two pole barns up towards the front there that you can see, and our ordinance does not allow accessory structures in front of the home. So they're asking for rezoning to rural estate and to a variance to allow those accessory structures to be in front of the home. Excuse me. Yeah, the zoning board also recommends approval 6-0 on this. The hardship for the accessory structures is that the property drops off very quickly to the north side of those, so putting the house in front of the accessory structures would be difficult at best.
Let's do a motion to approve, and then we'll get into the discussions. Mr. Lowy and Ms. Turner, go ahead with questions.
So, just so I'm reading this correctly, the bottom of the screen is where the home wants to be.
Yes, they'd like to build a home in that larger area to the bottom.
To the bottom.
Yes.
Yeah, correct. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I had
a little
that correct.
farther north than that, but yeah, north of that dark area there.
Right. Gotcha, but not up to the top of the screen.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, if you look at the top of the screen up there, I don't have topography on there, but the property does drop between those buildings and the road.
Gotcha.
And so will they be coming in this direction or this direction to the house?
The north direction. There's not enough room with our driveway spacing requirements for the western part of the property.
Got it. Any other questions? Seeing none, we'll take a vote to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Great, excellent. Thank you, Dell.
You're welcome.
Item number 6, transportation. We'll invite Mr. Wilson to provide some information on that. We'll start with fiscal year 2025 FTA Section 5311 application.
For a little verbatim reading from the application packet. These are all three together. This is the same thing we do every year, and I do want to thank Member Weber for reaching out with some questions. I feel like these are questions that we always have to talk about a little bit when you kind of get into this packet as to what we're talking about. So in order to submit an application to the state of Illinois to offer rural transit, we need to tap two funding sources, which is FTA Section 5311, which allows us federal funding, and then something called Downstate Operating Assistance Program through the state of Illinois. And then we are obligated, based on the program and what we're using the program for, to come up with a match. So as you might all be aware, we do not operate buses, and my department does not. And so we purchase services from Showbus. We have since 1999, which feels a little bit like the beginning of time for me as far as the transit programs works. We have a very good relationship with Laura Dick and her team over at Showbus. They always get all the paperwork we need put together, and they're always involved in the things that are happening in the state and keeping us up to date on what's going on. So we, at the last committee meeting, announced that we had gone out for solicitation for vendors. We did receive one response, which was Showbus. And so now kind of the next step for us is to receive authority for the chairman to author and then amend any 5311 downstate operating assistance or purchase a service. So the one piece you have is the Section 5311 body and purchase a service. The other piece is the downstate program, and then we have all of our supporting documentation that may or may not be included as part of the grant application, and then the certificates and assurances through FTA that legal reviews and authorizes. I would call to everyone's attention two parts to this. The grant paperwork as we write it shows about $2.5 million worth of transportation efforts being undertaken by the county Obviously, the grant is far short of that. We get about $1.4 million in grant. We are not obligated if we were to maximize the grant to do that. In the section 5311, item 40, I'll call your attention to that. Showbus offers to all of their clients to collect all of the local match required to maximize the grant. I will say we're always short on local match and we never maximize the grant. We typically do between $700,000 and $800,000 worth of transit every year. But we do have a little room for growth there. But the main limiting factor, and I say this, I feel like almost every year, the main limiting factor in rural transit is access to local match. We are one of the very few communities. Our county puts $15,000 in the planning department budget to assist local match. That goes in our budget every year. Thank you for that. And that's where we come up with local match. A lot of our neighboring counties don't put any local match into this. And so they're not allowed to leverage as far, because that $15,000 is a completely unrestricted fund that allows us to match additional grant funds and doesn't have a restriction on a specific program. Obviously, we do. Laura goes out and solicits. We receive funds from Catholic Charities, Age Guide, some of our partners to leverage the additional funds, and it allows us to offer the transportation we do offer. I will say the partnership with Age Guide has been very good. Recently, it's allowed us to open up some more travel opportunities for seniors and older individuals, which is really great. But kind of the program in a nutshell looks exactly the same this year as it did last year, which is good for us. We are receiving an additional vehicle through CVP, which I have a letter that the chairman needs to sign so we can receive that vehicle, which we will incorporate into our fleet. This particular year, we typically do every other year or every third year lease agreement. We do not have to do the lease agreement this year. We enacted the lease or reauthorized the lease agreement last year. So we just have purchase of service and then authorization to execute and amend 5311 and downstate operating assistance funds.
Got it. Any questions or discussions for Ben? Ms. Foster.
Thank you, Chairman. I just wanted to say that Showbus is a jewel in the county, and even with its quirks, it works. So I'm in favor of it.
Great. Thank you. Ms. Weber.
Thank you. I just have my schedule in my hand here. I wanted to tell people in Herscher just once more that if they get scheduled for 9:20 in Herscher, does that though mean they shouldn't make appointments till after it goes through Otto Township and comes to town? Is that, would they be riding the bus that whole time till they got to Kankakee?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so probably a little later appointment from that time would be helpful. I would say this, so probably the easiest way to approach that, and our schedules are great. Anybody, I don't know where the camera is, anybody who wants to ride on Showbus, call the number. Our schedules at the agency, I mean, we'll occasionally field calls sometimes in our office and people have specific questions. It's far better for them to talk to the people that are dispatching on our routes all of the time. They're very involved with where their drivers are. They know where the buses are going, what times of pickups. They know kind of who the, I don't want to say regular riders, but we do have people that call more frequently, have rides. Obviously, if you're on something like dialysis, you have a frequency. We don't schedule the rides necessarily, but we do have people with recurring routes that we do offer rides for. And it's easier for them to kind of work in and around those rides. I don't have those schedules in front of me down in the planning department. So if you're looking for a ride, we do cover the county across the 5 days of the week. We might not necessarily cover your community every day of the week. But certainly call Showbus if you're looking for a ride.
Great. Any other questions for Ben? I think we will have an approval of this.
Yes, our request is a approval of the. Again, so at the full board, we have a resolution that will get passed that the chairman and clerk need to sign. There's a bunch of paperwork the chairman has to author. We'll have a legal. So our request is the authorization to execute and amend both Section 5311 and Downstate Operating Assistance Program for fiscal year 2026.
All right. Anyone feel like they'd like to make a motion to approve that? Mr. Lowy, Ms. Foster? All those in favor say, well, any other discussion before we do that? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Great, thank you, Ben. We're already to item number 7, old business. Anyone have any old business to bring forth? All right, how about any new business? I see no new business. Before we take a motion to adjourn, I want to thank everybody again for your participation. We appreciate it. And thank you also to the staff that's prepared for the meeting today. If there's no other,
Chairman,
Mr. Kirkstra.
I move that we adjourn.
Okay, we've got a motion to adjourn, second by Mr. Smith. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, stay seated.